wanted to take a few minutes today on AuDHD Reviews to talk about Val Kilmer, who passed away earlier this week. Val was, of course, the star of Batman Forever. He was the co-lead in Top Gun and Doc Holliday in Tombstone. Doc Holliday is probably what most people remember him for. Certainly that's what I remember him the most for. When celebrities pass, I'm not one who gets upset. I'm not one who gets sad. I take it from the point of view of it's sad that I will never get any more movies from this actor that I like, or I'll never get any more music from this musician that I enjoy. That's usually as far as it goes for me. With Val Kilmer, though, I am genuinely sad. I'm genuinely... This one kind of has me a little bit broken up, and I'll tell you why. Val Kilmer was a hero of mine, which I guess sounds silly considering he was an actor. He's not anybody I've ever met. He's not somebody that I knew. Not somebody I've ever spoken to. So it's strange to call him a hero when he just made movies. But he was a hero of mine. When I was a kid, I have autism. And when I was a kid, I was undiagnosed. So I was an undiagnosed kid with autism who was trying to fit in the world. Things were strange to me. The way people acted was strange. So I was kind of a loner. I didn't have any friends except for one, my cousin, my best friend, Thomas. I had kids that I hung out with at school, but I used to get made fun of a lot. I got made fun of for being overweight. I got made fun of for a dozen different things. I got made fun of for being smart, for getting good grades. So I used to get made fun of a lot. And I grew up in a small town, so the kids that made fun of me were also the kids I had to hang out with. So I didn't have any friends. And I hated Westerns. And I know that these are competing ideas, but I'll explain. My dad would watch Westerns on the weekends. You remember when they used to show Westerns on television on Saturdays and Sunday afternoons, and when nothing else was on. They'd show the old ones, and they had, Kirk Douglas, and sometimes you'd get John Wayne, and sometimes you get the singing cowboys. My dad watched all that. He loved all that. I hated Westerns. I hated them. God, I hated Westerns. The worst thing in the world for me to watch was a Western. But then one day, I was in a situation, I didn't have much choice, and Tombstone was on. And here comes this guy, Doc Holliday, who's unorthodox. He's out there. He's a little on the strange side. He doesn't have any friends, except for one. And that one friend loves him unconditionally, regardless of Doc's eccentricities, regardless of the way Doc plays cards, the way that... Doc had killed people. Wyatt Earp loved him unconditionally. He was like a brother to him. I saw myself in Doc. Now, obviously, I wasn't a violent child, but I saw myself in him, and from that moment on, I was hooked, and it made me a fan of Westerns. Kevin Costner, if he makes a Western, I'm there. Open Range and Dances with Wolves, Horizon. Doesn't matter what it is, I'm there. Val Kilmer was the reason for that. Val Kilmer was a hero to me because he portrayed a character that reminded me of me. And that might be hard to understand if you're a neurotypical, if you don't have autism, you don't have ADHD, if you were a normal kid, then maybe that doesn't make any sense to you. But it spoke volumes to me. And he was my hero after that. And it was just a role that he played. But it's probably again due to my autism, but I loved him for that. And then of course you've got the summer of 1995. I was 12 years old when Batman Forever came out. I was obviously around for Batman '89 and Batman Returns. And the media blitzes were crazy on those movies. If you were around then, I mean, Batmania was everywhere. And if you weren't around then, you can find videos of it on YouTube, old newscasts and stuff. It was nuts. Merchandise was everywhere. Comics and shirts and posters and pins and you name it. It was everywhere. But when Batman '89 came out, I was 6 years old. I didn't know really what was going on, except that, you know, Batman was everywhere. But when Batman Forever came out, I was 12. I was old enough then to know what was going on with the licensing, what was going on with the media blitz, the books and the magazines and the comics. And I had a comic adaptation of the movie that came with a cassette tape that had it was like a radio play of the comic. It had voice acting and sound effects and music, and I must have worn that tape out. Well, not the people from the movie, but it was just regular actors and stuff. But I was old enough to know what all that was, so I got sucked in to the Batman Forever media blitz. That movie sucked me in, and it shaped my opinion of it. And to this day, I love Batman Forever. I adore that movie because of the memories that I have for that time period, for the nostalgia, for Val Kilmer in that role. I saw Tombstone after Batman Forever, and the reason I watched Tombstone in the first place was because the new Batman was in it. But, I mean, 2 hits right out of the gate. Doc Holliday and Batman. I loved Val Kilmer. And he made other incredible movies. The Ghost in the Darkness, if you haven't seen that, based on a true story. At First Sight, where he plays a blind massage therapist who undergoes an experimental surgery so that he can see for the first time since he was, 1 or 2 years old. Based on a true story also. His performance in At First Sight is every bit as strong as his performance as Doc Holliday, and nobody talks about that movie. He was in Heat, Top Secret, Top Gun. He came back for Top Gun Maverick, which was incredible and touching and heartbreaking and triumphant. God damn it was triumphant. Val Kilmer meant so much to me, and I didn't even realize. I've been complaining all week that it sucks that it took his death for him to get his flowers. For the people, you see these stories everywhere. Everybody's talking about their memories of Val Kilmer, and I was talking to SJ the other day, and I was telling her, wouldn't it have been nice for them to have told him these things while he was alive? But then it occurred to me, I didn't even know how much he meant to me until this week. I had no idea. Well, I had some idea, but not to the full extent of it. His courage that he displayed after his cancer diagnosis and after the surgeries that left him unable to speak. He never shied away from still talking to people as best he could. There's a beautiful documentary on Prime Video called Val, with tons of behind-the-scenes video that he personally shot. He used to carry a video camera with him everywhere. It's a beautiful documentary, narrated by his son, who sounds exactly like him. If you haven't seen it, it's on Prime Video. Go watch it. It's incredible. He was amazing, and I had no idea how much that he actually meant to me as a figure in my life. And I'm very sad that he's gone. And I've been trying all week to figure out how to make something like this video. It's so small and insignificant, and there's so many important people who are talking about what he meant to them. And who am I? I'm a guy who I'm one half of a YouTube channel that's barely started. Val Kilmer meant a lot to me. Before he lost his ability to speak, in his last interview, he spoke about the mistakes of his youth and how he was so full of himself, and he was kind of an ass on set, and he was hard to work with, and he lost out on a lot of jobs because of his ego and his just the way that he was. And he says that it's unfortunate, and he wasn't asking for forgiveness. He took the approach of, it's a thing that happened, and it sucks that it happened, but it happened, and we can't do anything about it, so let's move on, and let's learn from it. Let's just be a better person. And that's what he wanted to do. He said in that interview that he had no regrets in his life. He wouldn't change anything, except that he wishes he had loved more. He wished he had loved more. I got made fun of a lot as a kid because I was overweight, and because I had long hair, and I got good grades, and I had tics that I had no idea what they were. I just had them. Turns out those are symptoms of autism, symptoms of ADHD, to have tics, facial tics. I used to get made fun of for that stuff. I was different. I didn't have a lot of people I could reach out to. But I saw myself in Doc Holliday, of all people. And it inspired me to have a little bit more courage, and maybe put myself out there, and maybe throw my shoulders back just a little bit further, and hold my head up a little bit higher. That's all because of Doc Holliday, because of this character he played in a Western, a genre that I hated until then. I will miss Val Kilmer as a person, even though I didn't know him. I will miss seeing him in interviews. I will miss seeing him just giving his perspective on things. I have missed him in movies for a long time. Val Kilmer was a hero of mine. Val Kilmer was an incredible actor who didn't get nearly enough opportunities. Well, I shouldn't say that. He didn't get nearly enough film roles. And as he said, it was his fault. I loved Val Kilmer. I loved Doc Holliday. I loved his Batman. It's unfortunate. It's been a hard year for celebrities, but Val Kilmer is the one that hurts me the most. So hold your head up high if you're watching this. So go out there and seize the day. Go out and do something fun. Go out and do something that makes yourself a better person. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you got something out of this video. Leave your message, or leave your favorite memory of Val Kilmer down below. Let's talk about it. I would love to talk about more of my memories and experiences. Tell me what is your favorite movie? It's probably Tombstone. That's most people's favorite. Do you have a favorite that isn't Tombstone? Do you have a second favorite of his? Leave me a comment down below. Let's talk about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.